All right, looks like we're live. It's Friday, April 16th, 1:02 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to do a little live coding. Today, I'm taking a look at Cloudflare Pages, which is a JAMstack platform from the folks at Cloudflare. As I understand it, it's online with Netlify, maybe, GitHub Pages is in that family, and seems like lots of other companies out there, I think Gatsby and some others, are offering this as a service. So Cloudflare Pages just came out of beta. So I'm going to dive in. I'm looking at moving my blog at some point. Right now it's on GitHub Pages, so this might be a good fit for that. Regardless, I just want to get a feel for what the Cloudflare offering is. So without further talking, I'm just going to dive in and see where this goes. As always, or as never, I'm going to start with reading the docs and see what we can do here. I'll zoom in a bit. All right. Well, it's not going to be a React. Get started. Signing up with a Cloudflare account. Sign in to Cloudflare Pages. Begin. Go to the Cloud. All right. So that's where I just was. Sign up. I'm currently logged into Cloudflare. That's good. Okay. Easy enough. Create a project. We're going to connect. Okay, so first of all, it looks right now, and I'm not positive about this, like GitHub is the only service that we're able to connect with. So that's of note if you're using GitLab or Bitbucket or anything else. So we're going to connect a GitHub account, and this is just a demo account. So we're going to give it access to all the repositories, which I guess I normally wouldn't do. And I actually don't, okay, got to roll this back. I don't have a repository in here right now ready for this, so we will set that up first, and then we'll roll it out. I've been exploring Eleventy, which I misspelled. Eleventy. Right, I should know it's eleventy.dev by now. All right, quick start. Okay, let's hop over to the terminal and make a little project for this. So we're gonna, you know what? Let's hop on it. Let's do 2 in 1 here. Let's deploy, but let's find something cool here. I think there's an awesome Eleventy GitHub project. 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, DuckDuckGo thinks Eleventy is a women's clothing line, which it very well may be. So awesome Eleventy. We're going to grab a project here, and we'll use this as the starter. Base blog, Hyla, Netlify CMS pre-configured, minimal. I wanted to find something fun here. I don't know how fun these are. A Eleventy garden. Let's see what this is. We gotta. That's not the fun project I'm looking for. No offense to it. Tutorials and guides, screencasts, site using Eleventy, official list, boiler. Maybe we just go with the base blog. JAMstack, using Eleventy, Tailwind, Webpack, and Post. Let's just see what this. Well, this one is not there, so that'll be a PR for later. All right, Eleventy base blog, fine. We're gonna roll with this. Not the most exciting, but the point of this isn't Eleventy. It's Cloudflare Pages. So we zoomed in way too far there. It's going to be called My Blog Name, creatively named. CD, My Blog Name. All right, so this is, okay, clear. Are we zoomed in enough here? I think we are. Now, what am I pushing up to? Yeah, so let's Quit. Not what I want it to do. I want this to be my own. GitHub.com, my blog name, cd my blog. Let me do this. Let's open this up with VS Code. What's it got? That's funding. We don't need that. Not right now. And we should probably zoom in a little more here. A little better. Super big on my screen. All right. We don't need that sidebar right now. RM. Isn't it? Remove. I forgot the recurse command. I'm never gonna remember it, so I'm just gonna delete that. Oops, not where I wanted to go. What happens if I run? This is we learn as we go. If I run git init when there's already reinitializing. Cool. Clear. Git status. All right. Git add. All. Remove funding because it's just this demo thing. It shouldn't. That's not what I want to do. Oh, you know what I have to do? I'm a little dense sometimes. I should be able to do this from in here. We'll call this test. Eleventy testing Cloudflare Pages. Testing Eleventy on Cloudflare Pages. Public is fine. We'll create it. And we're going to try this and see if that works. No, I'm so confused here. It's because all right, git remote -v is going to be, so I want to remove those. Git remote. So this is me learning Git as we go. Git remote remove name. Okay, easy enough. Git remote remove origin. We'll repaste that. Okay, this is annoying. I'm trying to use my. Oh, okay. I forgot. I gotta change this because I'm using my demo account here. I think it's -demo. Nice little circle here. Git remote remove origin. Try this third time is the charm. Nice. Okay, well, that was an embarrassing diversion. Now we're going to start this project. Select, let's see if we can get it to refresh here. Oh, Eleventy testing Cloudflare Pages. Awesome. So we got our repository, and we're going to begin the setup. Well, we only have main, so we'll start with deploying from that. Maybe we'll set up a deploy one in the future. Framework preset. Okay, so, we got Eleventy. Nice. I'm very glad Eleventy is here. We have Eleventy as a preset. So the build command. So what happens if we pick if we pick Gatsby built? So it just runs Eleventy when we deploy. I think that's all. We're going to start with this. We're going to start with their preset, Eleventy, which is just going to run Eleventy. It's going to output it to _site. Sounds good. Nothing special is going to be here. We're not going to add any environment variables off the bat. All right. Nice. All sounds good. Save and deploy. And we'll see what happens. All right. Build queue. Waiting for other builds. Okay. So let's just watch this and we'll see what happens. See. not even really running it locally. Why don't we do that while we're waiting? So now we should have this back in VS Code. We'll hop into the terminal here. npm install. So that's installing, and then we'll run Eleventy locally, and we'll see what happens. Now, what I'm also interested in is seeing how long this takes. I mean, this is the first time that I've run here, so we'll see how long it takes for subsequent deploys to happen. All right, so we've cloned the repository, and it's building the app locally. We're installing. All right, so clear. If locally we run what, n, let's go to the Eleventy docs because I'm still rusty on this. Well, we had some action there. Doing two things at once. Got an unknown error code. Well, that's not helpful, but it's gone. Your site was deployed. Now, I didn't connect this to anything, so I'm wondering, all right, continue to project. Let's see what we got here. Have our repository. So they have a domain, a testing domain that they deploy your site to, a bunch of random stuff with the name of your project, .pages.dev. So pages.dev is their thing. Let's just check out what we got here. Nice. It is the Eleventy base blog. So we're going to update this, and we're going to push it out, and we're going to see what happens there. But before we do that, we'll just explore Cloudflare Pages a little further. All deployments, production, from main. We've got our builds that we can view, but we just saw that. That's going to be the same thing that we just saw. Took. How long did it take? Do we have it? Sorry. Took a minute. Custom domains. We don't have a custom domain set up. So when I was viewing this, there's a, I guess, is that a particular build? Like, can I go to, is this the main site, and then that link is the link to a particular build? Okay, so this is pretty cool. The site is found at the project name .pages.dev, useful enough. Although there are some, well, I guess they provide the SSL cert, because I know that there's some issues with HSTS and .dev domains. Thank you, Google. But this is where it is, and then particular builds are found, if I'm reading this right, underneath what one of the hashes, or a hash that they give for that deployment. So you can see it at these particular points in time, which seems handy and helpful and cool. Now, if I custom domains, don't need to do that, because that's going to have to be one that I own, and I don't feel like doing that right now. Settings. All right, so if we rename it, is this going to rename our URL? Eleventy testing Cloudflare Pages name. I don't know if I'm zoomed in enough here. There we go. Yeah, it about fits. So we updated that. Members, so you can have team members, access policy. I'll have to take a look at what that is, and then web analytics. So what's kind of nice here, at least with analytics, is that it's not enabled by default. You kind of have to opt into it. If we hop back to custom domains, updating the project name does not update the project's host name, which, I mean, you'd hope that they would tell you if that were the case. But I wonder if there's a way that we can update the if there's a way we can update that name, if we can update that that host name, or maybe that's not configurable. Members, access policy, yeah, none of those seem like it. Let's enable analytics while we're at it, because I'm not too concerned about that. Okay, so that change will take place on the next deployment. So yeah, I'm not worried about the access policy right now. I can explore that at a different time. The one thing that I'm not sure about is how we can change that name. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that for testing, but it would be useful to know if I was able to change that. I'll have to dig into the docs to look at that. I'm not going to go down that path too far. All right, so let's look at what Eleventy actually does, so we can learn a little about Eleventy while we work on it, and then we will deploy it. So we'll delete the message. Well, let's update the metadata.json. So my blog underscore metadata.json, your blog name. This is going to be my Cloudflare Pages test. Its URL is going to be this. English. I am writing about my experiences as a naval gazer as a Cloudflare Pages tester. I guess there's a feed built in. Nice enough. What else do we have in here? Author. All right. Good enough. Don't really care too much about that. We're gonna hop into the, what did they say that the layout was? Let's zoom in here too. Includes layouts base.nunjux. So we're gonna go to base, and we'll find that message there, which is tells us to delete it. Delete this message. Stop deleting. All right, so we got two things to do here. First, we will update that. Yes, commit. We'll do the update config with information. All right, so we're going to push this up first, just this one, and we'll see how long our second deploy takes. So Cloudflare Pages, it's in progress, and the second one is happening right now. We'll hop into it, and we'll see how long the deployment takes. Now, I am not the best guide to this because I haven't been doing many Netlify deploys recently, but my recollection was that their deployments were very fast, and this does seem, not that it matters to me particularly now, and not that I would generally be watching it with this much attention, but a bit slower. Maybe, and it's primarily that build environment initialization. But I could be wrong on that, because like I said, I haven't been doing many Netlify deploys recently, and when I wasn't paying attention to the build and deployment time. So this is going out there. Then we'll have, I imagine, another URL so we can see this specific build and compare it to the previous one. All right. Okay, so let's just take a look at. Interesting. Why is it? Let's see what it's actually doing here. Finish closing, attempting to node version 12. So it's installing, this is why it's taking a while. Installing node 12, Ruby, PHP. Got a lot going on here. All right. Like, I'm not sure why it had to install Hugo. That seems strange. And then it's running Eleventy, which is writing the site. And the actual writing of the site was very fast, and then it was deployed. That it does seem strange to me that there's particularly that Hugo was installed. Although it doesn't look like that took all that much time. That just seems like a strange thing to be happening. All right, so that's been deployed. We will hop back to the project. This deployment is out there, and it has a different URL than the previous one. So if we go to this builds deployment, we should see that, oh, I left those there, but my Cloudflare Pages test is up here. Well, my Cloudflare Pages test is now the site name, so it has taken our update as opposed to the previous version, which was here, which just had your blog name. So that is neat that each deployment gets its own unique URL. I mean, I'm not sure how I'm going to use that or would use that in practice, but that's there. So I don't need that one anymore. This is the most recent one. So let's do one more deployment here. We will yes, commit, remove, setup instructions. We'll deploy that, and we'll see how long our third build takes, and also if it also installs Hugo again. So it's in progress. Once again, we're going to watch it. And we'll see what happens here. The build environment does seem to be a fairly long step. Oh, but these should have, and I don't know what the analytics, well, we'll check out the analytics on the site after. We'll click around a little bit. Back to, this is the main site. Its URL has been updated. When this deploy is done, this should be gone. So here we go. Oh, this is going. All right. Well, while we're in here, we're just going to click around to get some analytics data in there to see if that's actually available to us. And then we'll hop back to our deployment. All right. Ooh. This one does seem like it was quite a bit faster. If we go back, we don't see the time that the deployments took right here. All right, so let's refresh. We'll go to the home page, and our instructions are gone, so that worked. Let's view this build. The most recent build took 1 minute and 11 seconds. The one before, 1 minute and 30 seconds. And the initial build, 1 minute and 16 seconds. So it actually wasn't substantially different in the amount of time it took. Okay, wait. We can see the detailed log here. So let me confirm. We are now on the most recent deployment. I'm checking here again to see if what it actually did. Python has to download and install Node. Ruby, Swift. All right, so this time I'm not seeing the, oh no, installing Hugo. I guess maybe if this same image container, whatever, is used for all of the static site deployments. They install everything that they need for any of them on the image so that it can work for all of them. I mean, this is just guessing, but maybe that's what's going on here. Okay, that's not really a complaint. I don't know enough about this to complain. But that's deployed, and allegedly now we have web analytics. Okay, so this is cool. This is close to real-time data, and I didn't need to do anything I needed to enable it, but I didn't need to do anything else. Shows me the various hosts, because I've got those build hosts. LCTF, I don't know what these are. Page load time, little view there, 2 visits. Oh, oopsie. Don't want to zoom in on the map. And I should have no refers, all direct, all using Edge. Well, that makes sense because that's me. Page views. Now, can I get in page views summary? Page views by. I want to see. Refers, paths. Nice. I mean, this isn't like a replacement for Google Analytics, unless, I mean, I'm sure it's more, less suspect in terms of gathering user data without permission. And it doesn't need to run JavaScript on the front end. So that's a nice feature to have built in there. All right, so how do we get back? It's going to take me to the site. Last 24 hours, a little window there. If I remove. That's interesting. You can see, if you have multiple sites in here, you can see the analytics for all of your sites. All right, so let's go back. How do I get back to Pages? Cloudflare Pages. All right, not easily is the answer. All right, so let's see. I do have a domain in Cloudflare here, which I imagine is going to be the easiest way to do this. Let's set up a custom domain here while we're playing around and see how it goes. All right, so the domain is demos.fyi. Cloudflare will add these DNS records to activate demos FYI for your project. So I'm just curious here. If I did my regular site, which is not... All right, before adding to your Pages project, you will need to So, I suppose this is obvious, but if you're gonna be using Pages, you need to manage the DNS for your site with Cloudflare. So take that for what it's worth. Demos.fyi. All right, so they're gonna add that to me for me. Oh, but I don't. What if I don't want it to be? Okay, sorry. I want to do a subdomain. I want to do cf-pages-demo. We'll do that. .demos.fyi. We want it to be a subdomain. CNAME, cf-pages-demo. Okay, so they can do that for me. Activate. The classic line about DNS: it may take up to 48 hours for the DNS records to update and for your site to become viewable. Inactive error. Interesting. What's the error? So no error shown. All right, I guess. Let's just try to manage it first. It's there. So it was added. And if, all right, so let's go to back to the home page, back to pages, and custom domains. So that's so strange, because it was there in my DNS. So we will remove it. Well, let's see if they can access it. All right, so it bug in pages, but this actually is resolving cfpagesdemo.demos.fyi. The domain that I set up is working correctly. Well, that was a confusing little stretch of time there, because this said error and it seemed like there was a problem, but when I went to DNS, it was showing fine. I went to the website, it was resolving fine, and then when I came back here, it was set up as active with SSL enabled. So I'm happy that it's working, but that was a confusing little stretch with what Pages was telling me. I don't need to do anything with members there. All right, so that's, I mean, from a Cloudflare, let's just hop in the docs to see if there's anything else that we would care about with this. Okay. So, as the docs say here, too, circling back to the very beginning, it does seem like GitHub is the only thing that you're going to be deploying from, at least as of right now. Okay. Oh, okay. I do want to look at preview. I do want to look at preview deployments, so that's one note that I'll make. We selected the repository, we configured the deployment, we could set up other branches. We didn't need to customize this. That went out there. Managing your site, we saw all of this. We added a custom domain. Configured the name servers. They did the CNAME for us. Went through we went through all this. Settings, access policies is the one thing that we didn't really worry about. So one thing that we do want to see is the preview deployment. So we'll open that in a new tab. And then we'll look at the how-tos. Okay, so how-tos is just how to do. There's no instructions on. There's no instructions here on Eleventy, although that was pretty straightforward. Deploying your site. Pretty straightforward. This is a funny page, just with no updated line and no difficulty line, just the length. Oh, and here's Hugo. I wonder if that's. So you need, Hugo for your own machine. So this is just basically JAMstack instructions for setting up a Hugo site, and then running it. Cool, very nice. Okay, tutorials. That sounds interesting. All right, I might look at that tutorial. Migrations. If you want to know who the competitors are, go to the migrations page. And then platform. All right, build configuration. All right. That's for the various platforms. Okay, so their build environment, which we saw, supports, it's not specialized, it supports a number of tools, so that's probably why all that stuff was going on. Because it works for all of them. GitHub integration. We're going to look at the preview deployment. We can remove that. Known issues. Okay. as we noted, ones other than GitHub aren't supported. Pages only supports a single project per repository. For me, that's fine. Once you've selected a GitHub repository for your Pages application, it can't be changed. Pages cannot serve files located in a well-known folder. Interesting. Is that because they handle... I'm not sure why that is. I'm not going to read that RFC right now. This is the stuff we ran into. The .dev subdomain currently can't be changed. So you'd have to delete it and create a new one. All right, so that was one thing I was looking through to see if we could do, and we couldn't. Hugo, Node. All right, awesome. So, I mean, most of these sort of issues and questions that I ran into are found on the known issues page. Limits of the free plan, 10 custom domains at a time, 20,000 files, 25 megabytes. Okay, Cloudflare Pages supports deploying unlimited sites to your account. Okay, redirects, that's always important. Underscore redirects plain text file. I think that's pretty similar to how Netlify does it. The build output folder is project specific, so the underscore redirects file should not always be in the root directory of the repo. Happens at build time. We can try add in a redirect. A limit of 100 redirects and 1,000 character limit per redirect line. Okay, so that's helpful. Transform rules will be interesting. Not stuff I have to dive in too far right now. Good defaults, route matching. You can define a custom page to be displayed when pages can't find a requested file by creating a 404.html file. Pages will attempt to find the closest 404 page. If one isn't found in the same directory, it'll continue to look up. Useful to know. SPAs. Caching and performance. All right. And preview deployments, which is what I linked to? Yeah, it's the same. All right, preview deployment time. Preview deployments allow you to preview new versions of your project without deploying it to production. Each time you open a new pull request on your GitHub repository. Okay, so is that only via pull requests? Because there's no more information here. Let's set up another branch. We got the project here now. I'll do this locally and then we'll push it up. Git branch develop, git checkout develop. We're gonna push that up. Git push dash setup stream origin develop. Alright. Okay. Let's change something here. Yeah, we'll uncomment this. That's kind of redundant. We don't need that there. What's something more useful that we can do here? That doesn't need to be useful, I suppose. There's a 404.markdown, so that probably gets generated as the 404.html. Let's just confirm that. We can confirm that. We can confirm it by looking at it. Let's customize this. Perfect. 404.html. Content not found. Exclamation point. Home. Read more. This will work for both GitHub Pages and Netlify. Oops. And Cloudflare Pages. All right, quit. Okay. Get status. We'll see what we're gonna add. Yes. Customize 404. All right, so we're gonna push that up on develop, and we'll see if we can do a preview of that. I'm not sure. All right. Oh, sweet. Yeah. So it doesn't have to be a pull. It can be a push, just to a different branch. That would be a helpful point to have clarified. That you can preview new versions just by pushing to a different branch. So we'll see how long that customized 404 takes, and then we can deploy it, and we'll see how long that takes too. This is just the impatience of life. All right, so that's deployed, so sweet. Now I'm wondering if deployments will be faster for things like this, where they already have a build of it, and then I'm deploying it. So here's our custom preview that we have not actually deployed yet. So here, if we go to /turtle, we've got a 404 content not found with the exclamation point. Now, so we'll zoom in here so you can see what I'm saying. I didn't look closely enough at what I was. Okay, so the can I tell VS Code Markdown, like, stop validating? Can I get toggle the validation? Toggle. Come on. Toggle. I want to toggle the validation here because that's really just a bit much. Inline. All right, well, separate thing. The note that I wrote was in a comment. It wasn't being output. So at least I can see the exclamation point. So this is my preview build. It has the exclamation point. If I go to the live site, don't need that one. If I go to the live site and go to /turtle, I won't have the exclamation point. So my preview build is showing the change, but I haven't actually deployed it yet. That is very cool and very nice. I can see myself using that. So we'll merge develop and we'll deploy that. And the question is, how long will a build take? Maybe it's going to be the same. But how long would a build take if they'd already built it? And the answer is, I guess, the same amount of time. This is just funny because they've built this already. I don't know if there's a way for them to see that. But since I'm just merging in a build that they already have, I was hoping that maybe that deployment would have been faster. Yeah, because you can see that the commit's the same. So that's interesting. All right, so that is out there. The 404 is updated, And while we're doing this, just for fun, we're going to say VS Code disable Markdown validation. Markdown editing, how to disable it? VS Code disable inline validation. How to hide the warning scribblies. Best thing ever. Workspace settings. JavaScript validate enable. So this is probably there's probably one for Markdown. Is it validate? Can I change this with validate? No. Settings, validate, Markdown all in one. That's not the specific thing that I was looking at. You'd think this is with Markdown all in one then. Let's check the settings. All right, this is way, way off course. Markdown all in one. Oh, is this installed? Markdown lint. Okay, so let's just see here. Lint. Oops. Lint. No. Okay. Lint. Yes, lint. Toggle. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Toggle linting by Markdown lint. Oh my goodness. All right, there you go. You can toggle the linting by Markdown lint, and that makes it far easier to read when there's something like that. I guess especially when nunjux is when you have markup like that within your Markdown file. So this works for Cloudflare Pages as well, which is good to know and super helpful. Don't need that anymore. That deployment is completed, so our live site now has the exclamation. We can go home. I think that's all I need to tackle today. Let's go back here. We hooked up our GitHub project. They have some pre-built settings for Eleventy along with a ton of other static site generators. We know that we're stuck with GitHub. We know that we can't change the name of the project without deleting and redoing it, but all of the issues that I saw were found in that known issues section. The coolest thing is the preview deployments, which I can definitely see myself using. And the build times felt a little long, but I don't know enough to speak authoritatively on it. Oh, and you have to have your site's DNS with Cloudflare if you're going to be setting up a custom domain for that. So that's it. Cloudflare Pages, a static site generator, a JAMstack. Oh, you know what I didn't look at? I was pontificating there at the end, and then I didn't look at it. Maybe I'll save this. Maybe I'll save this for next time, since we've gone almost an hour, and I want to wrap this up. The tutorials had build an API for your front end using Cloudflare workers, and this seemed interesting. All right. I'll take a look at this maybe next time. But that did seem, I always like, when you can make the static site dynamic. All right. So we have something to look forward to next time. That's Cloudflare workers. It's Friday. Have a great day and a wonderful weekend, and maybe I will see you next week.